intro on American funding. We do payroll funding for staffing agencies. That's what we specialize in, and we do work with startups as well. So we work with companies that are just bringing on their very first contract. We also have staffing agencies that have been around for years. So we're super flexible. We don't lock anyone into long-term contracts or anything like that. So we work really well with startups. We love working with medical staffing. We got really busy with medical staffing probably 3 years ago. So we've seen a lot of the shifts and the changes that have happened the last few years. Of course, things got really crazy during COVID, and we saw our staffing clients just totally blowing up and getting super busy. So, of course, things have slowed down a little bit recently, but we still are seeing a lot of startups joining us, and we're still seeing a lot of people be successful. So we kind of wanted to talk about some things we've been seeing recently. And then Shamika, of course, I have some questions that, I kind of wanted to get your opinion on too. So, one thing I wanted to talk about that I've seen kind of discussed in your group a little bit is remote work. So obviously the last couple of years, remote work has been, kind of more popular. So is that something that you're seeing people try to integrate or more demand for that?
You mean as far as like hiring more remote workers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's something that's probably happened in the industry before. There are definitely an element of healthcare workers who do remote work. I
Yeah.
think we're also seeing a lot more telehealth
Hmm.
happening as well as virtual nursing,
Hmm.
kind of some of the shifts that we see happening at the healthcare level side.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a thing.
Okay, yeah, I've noticed him talk about that more and more, which I thought was interesting. And then also, we've worked with a lot of clients who work with VMSs. So, is that still something you're seeing a lot where people are getting on with VMSs, like career staff?
Right. Yeah, I think for us, it's really sometimes the only option. I think during the pandemic, there was kind of that big influx, and there was definitely more opportunity
Hmm.
from a direct contract standpoint of view. And then as the pandemic kind of came to a little bit of a wrap, we saw more and more companies kind of consolidating or, smaller facilities being bought out. So I will say that BMSs have been a primary option, a little bit depending on which state that you're in, where a lot of VMSs are heavier in certain states versus others. So,
Yeah, we've definitely noticed that. So, of course, with all the changes we've seen the last couple of years, we always try to adapt and serve our clients as much as we can. So, with the VMSs, that was kind of new to us a few years ago. We really hadn't seen a lot of that. And since then, we've taken on a lot more agencies that work with VMSs. Career staff is the one that we like the most. We have found that Genesis has just started paying slow, so we're a little hesitant to fund them right now. But career staff is always a really good one, and we're always comfortable funding them. So that's one nice thing about really specializing in funding for medical staffing. I think we see a lot of the payment trends with facilities, and that's something I wanted to kind of talk about too. Is a huge benefit I think of working with a funding company is that we really know payment trends and which facilities, especially the big ones like VMSs or Brookdale is a big one that we see a lot of people working with. Facilities like that, we can just get a good idea of payment. Of course, every funding company is going to run credit on potential customers. So running credit is a good start.